In today's video, we're going to go over the top 7 reasons why you may need life insurance, even if you don't think you do. Now, by the way, all of these 7 reasons are on the prerequisite that the requirement for life insurance is met. And in my opinion, the requirement for life insurance is if you have loved ones within your life that would be financially impacted if you would pass away, then you need life insurance. So if you pass that and you have any of these 7 things, then you really need life insurance. So stick around to the end of the video to see if you qualify for any one of these 7 reasons. What's up, guys? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Philip Setter. I'm the founder and CEO of Affinity Life, which is an online life insurance brokerage here in Canada, where you can actually view quotes 100% online and apply 100% online as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll put the link in the description below and you guys can check it out. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so before I actually get into these 7 reasons, I just want to expand on that a little bit more. So really, the need for life insurance, again, is meant for individuals that have loved ones within their life. And if something were to happen to them, if they passed away, the loved ones would be very financially impacted. That's the main purpose for life insurance. So if you're just a single individual, you have nobody in your life, you have no partner, you have no spouse, you have no kids, you have no other dependents, nobody relies upon you financially, you probably at this time don't have a need for life insurance. However, if you do have someone that relies upon you and you do fall into one of these 7 different reasons, then you definitely need life insurance. So let's get started. Number 1 is you have outstanding debt and you had a family member co-sign on that debt. So let me explain this a little bit. Let's just hypothetically say that you're an individual, you're not married, you're young, you got into a bit of debt, maybe 50, 100 grand, maybe student debt, maybe a line of credit, whatever it is, you bought a car and no one is really there from a legal point of view. And what I mean by that is there's no common law partner, there's no spouse, you're not living with someone. And so if you were to pass away, then your debt would simply just wash up in your estate and you're not really leaving anything behind. So it'd kind of be a net zero. Okay. So I'll kind of explain a little bit more how taxes work upon death and how debt works upon death. So essentially, when you pass away, everything that you own is bundled up into this estate. So that could be your car, your house, your business, maybe investments, some other things. All your debt is then bundled up into this estate as well. And so before any of your assets can be distributed to the people that you'd want it distributed to, all the outstanding debt is going to be looked at first. So if you owed money to a lender, if you owed money on your car, if you owed money on your house, they would want that first before any of your assets could then go to whoever you wanted it to be left to. However, if you didn't have anyone that you wanted to leave these assets to, then it's like, well, maybe then you don't really need to cover off the debt because when you pass away, it's just going to be a net gone. However, if you got your parents or other individuals, other family members to co-sign for any debt, now they're on the hook as well. So that's the key difference. If you had debt that you took on your own and you have no one that you really want to leave anything behind for, no problem. If you had debt that was co-signed by a family member, that means if you passed away, they would then need to pay for that. So if you have outstanding debt that somebody co-signed, or you have outstanding debt and you have people in your life that you want to leave some of your assets behind to, maybe you have a spouse, maybe you have kids, maybe you have aging parents, and you want to leave some assets behind, whatever you have in your life, then you want to make sure you have that debt covered. Number 2, you work for yourself, you have a business, you're a business owner. You absolutely need life insurance, not only for the fact that you may need life insurance for your family if you were to pass away, but the business now needs life insurance. If you have partners in this business, well, if you were to pass away, your partners would need a few things. Number 1, they would need to replace the salary of you. Now, one of their key employees, key individuals, one of the key shareholders of the company is passed away. I'm sure you're probably doing a lot of things in that business, and now you're not in the business anymore. So not only do they need to replace the salary of whatever it is that you were doing in the business, but they're also going to want some funds within the corporation so they can buy the shares from your deceased estate. Because, I mean, maybe they like your partner, but chances are they're probably in business with you and not your spouse. And so they're going to want to have some life insurance in the corporation. So if you were to pass away, they can then buy those shares and continue on with the business without the partner, without your partner in that corporation. And by the way, if you are a business owner or a shareholder of a Canadian corporation, you can purchase life insurance within your corporation. So you don't have to take the money out and pay personal taxes on it. You can actually have it within your corporation and then pay for it within your corporation. And corporate tax rate is obviously lower here in Canada. And if you were to pass away, the corporation would receive those funds. However, there is a mechanism to pay them out of the corporation 100% tax free. So I'm not going to get into that in that video, but if you are interested a little bit more of that, I did make another video, and just drop it in the comments below and ask for that and I will send it to you. Number 3, you are working in a high risk job. So maybe that's mining, maybe that's oil, maybe that's firefighting, maybe you're a policeman. Construction is also another dangerous trade. So if you're in any of these high risk occupations and you had a need for life insurance, then you would doubly have a need for life insurance, because unfortunately these are dangerous occupations and the chance of something happening to you is higher than something happening to an office worker that's not put in those dangerous situations as often as you are. Number 4, you have extreme hobbies. So some examples of these extreme hobbies could be maybe ice climbing, maybe rock climbing, maybe paragliding, maybe hang suiting, maybe high altitude mountaineering. If you do any of these activities, especially activities in avalanche risk areas as well, such as maybe you're a backcountry skier, maybe you're a snowmobiler, the need for life insurance is even greater, because unfortunately accidents can and do happen in the mountains. And we want to think that it will never happen to us, but the reality is that it does happen to somebody, and we want to think that it would never happen, but the reality is it does happen, and it could happen to you. It could happen to anyone, regardless of your skill, your age, your experience level. Sometimes accidents just happen. So if you fall into that category and you have a need for life insurance, I would highly recommend getting it. Number 5, you have dependents that rely on you. So really, I mean, there's a number of different dependents that could rely on you, but really the two major ones are if you have a disabled child that's going to rely upon you financially for the rest of their life. That's something that doesn't necessarily end when they turn 18 or 19 or 20. If you do have a disabled child, chances are they're probably going to financially rely upon you one way or another for the rest of their life. And unfortunate as it is, this is something that you need to consider with your insurance planning moving forward. The second one that you want to look at is maybe aging parents that you're also financially taking care of. So a lot of the times you'll have parents that you're taking care of that unfortunately for one reason or another, maybe there wasn't as much planning in their retirement, but you are financially taking care of them. So if that were to happen, then you would want to make sure that you have life insurance in place. Even now, if you don't have a spouse and you don't have children, they're financially relying upon you and you need some life insurance to cover off that. Number 6, you're planning on getting married. Okay, well, first of all, congratulations. Good on you for getting married. Now that you're really in this planning process, maybe you're at the beginning of it, maybe you're in the middle of it, maybe you're right before your wedding day. Now is a really good time to start thinking about life insurance, because as you get married, your finances are going to come together. And whether that means you're moving in together, you're splitting a bank account together, you're buying a car together, you're buying a house together, whatever it is, now whatever you have in your life, such as outstanding debt, outstanding credit cards, lines of credit, student debt, and now your partner as well, you're bringing that into the relationship. And now whatever you jointly own together is at risk for whatever you've brought into the relationship. So making sure you buy life insurance to cover that off. So if something were to happen to you, even if you don't have kids, your partner doesn't have to deal with those outstanding things is very important. And finally, number 7, you either A, have a baby, or B, you have a child on the way. So like I mentioned, the main purpose of life insurance is really to protect our loved ones in our life. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, what is a greater love than our children that we have? And if something were to happen to you, the financial impact that would be on your family is devastating. And so having some type of life insurance in place to help your family during that time and help pay for expenses, help pay for childcare, help pay for education, and help pay the bills while you're now gone is incredibly important. So if you have a child or you have a child on the way, absolutely, you 100% need life insurance to protect them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which reason you think is the most important to get life insurance. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments as well. And if you guys are enjoying this content, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next one.